Yo, what's up tonight? We are live. Welcome to Drawn Talk. It's your boy Tyler. Today we have the awesome Travis Gibb here with us tonight. We're gonna be talking about like tourism in comics. You have the awesome why like that's a bad thing to talk down to people who want to get into this fandom. I'm seeing it a lot on both creators side, but there are some readers who will do the same thing. So we're going to talk about this. Is this a good tactic? Like, should you gatekeep a fandom? Because I have heard the arguments where it's like, oh, we can't let people in and we got to gatekeep this fandom. But then on the other side, like, how do you grow a fandom? How do you grow a community? So we're going to talk about that tonight. We've got 2 Kickstarters that we'll show off. Both links in the description. We'll be putting them in the chat. Let's hit up some music. You guys know I love this kawaii song.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch. I'm so fucking cute. Attitude abusive, but I'm so fucking cute. Kawaii cutie on the beat.
Go check out Holiday Spirits. Link is now in the chat. All right. I just love it. I'm so fucking cute, bitch. I just love that. We got Massive Panda in the chat. How we doing? I think Massive Panda and I are now like LinkedIn buddies, so we're getting professional. We got Sketchstar Rex in the house. How you doing, man? Tyler, your volume is way down. Well, how's it good? How is it now? Let me turn it up. Check. Is it good? Let's look at this. Let's see. Sound. Man, all right. How's that? Is that better? I just changed this before I went live. So how's that? Is this better? Let's see what else we got. What else we got going on? Master says, "Are we nice? I haven't locked in for a while. I think you're good now. Okay, awesome, guys. Welcome to the show. We're gonna have a silly goose time as always. We got into some drama over the week. I don't really call it drama. I think I call it discussing opinions with other creators, which if you guys have known me, if you guys have followed me for a long time, you guys know I love talking with creators. I love having my points challenged, and I love challenging others. And it's all about having a silly goose time and the love of comics. And at the end of the day, as long as we're able to do that, mission accomplished. And if we're able to go back to our respective sides and be nice to each other, that's all good. And if you guys saw last week, Friday, my opponent was not very nice, not very respectful, and we're gonna talk not about them specifically, but like a more deeper problem with what I think is a problem in the comics fandom. We got Jose Garcia. Blackjack Duelist is almost done. Just need to finish screen tones on characters for the last 3 pages. Well, there you go, guys. There's the update. And Sketchstar, that's why we get along so well. Yes, if you guys didn't know, Sketchstar Rex is my editor, and we have very different viewpoints on things. We battle all the time, and yet we're still friends at the end. Like, if you see us going back and forth on a Twitter feed, we're battling different opinions, and then at the end, one of us will throw up the Civil War gif with Black Widow and Hawkeye, and they're like, "You still friends?" And then then the next person will post like, "Depends on how hard you hit." So, yeah, that's what we got. All right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring in. I was gonna call him Jester Lou, which is his freaking Twitter. We're gonna bring in Travis Gibb, and let's get started. So let me load up the StreamYard. Let me know, guys, if you guys cannot hear Travis. Okay, so now we're switched over to the StreamYard. We're gonna turn this volume up and bring Travis in. Oh no!
Can they hear me though?
I fucking muted you when you said that, but you're good now.
Okay.
And immediately, Olivia at 656 goes,
Oliver saying, can't hear him. Can you hear me now, Oliver? XD? What does that mean?
Let's see.
What? Can't hear him.
I can hear. I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
All right.
How are you, man?
Dude, I'm doing good. Can I say one thing that kind of sucks about this live stream is that some individuals might go, "Oh, I know why they're doing this." It's like, no, we actually planned this beforehand.
Yeah, he was on my show last Wednesday, last Wednesday before any of his videos on it. And if you follow the end of that, I believe it's even on the recording that you invited me onto your show.
Yeah.
If you watch the end of it on my channel, the last 20 minutes or so, you will hear us babbling and it gets mentioned.
These guys are planning to come here. to talk bad about me. No, we're here to talk comics. And real quick, guys, we will get into this later on in the night. But Travis does have a Kickstarter going on.
I do
right now. It's Holiday Spirits, Christmas in July, the graphic novel. It's almost funded. 11 days to go. We'll talk about this later on in the show when we get some more viewers in. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description.
But bringing up that what's been going on, you can get rid of this for a minute. I have a presentation I'd like to do for you, so just so I know about the subject that we're doing here, right?
Okay.
So I would like to know exactly when you became a Taurus, if you can let me know. Okay. Did it start when you made more issues than I have in an omnibus? Did it start here? Was that it?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't there. Okay, that's fine. It wasn't there. Was it Megafist #1? Was it when you did this volume?
I don't know.
No, okay, all right. That's fine. Was it when you did #2?
I don't know.
Was it? Okay, all right. Maybe you'll know now. Was it 3? Was it 3?
It might have. No, I don't know.
No, okay. All right. It's got to be 4 then, right? Is it 4?
It's got. I mean, that's when all this stuff started happening even more.
No, it can't be 4. Okay, maybe it was when you just did a 4-pager in an anthology. Maybe was that when you? What was it when you? Because it's just 4 pages. You know, that was probably right. Or maybe when it was with Comic Book Resources voted #1 anthology for the year, Cthulhu Invades Neverland. Maybe it's when you did that one because you updated 6 pages. You know, tourists only do 6 pages in an anthology. You know, that can't be it. That can't. It's got to be when I first started, 2018, when I did Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies. You just did a couple of pages, 2 pages in that, because 2 pages is nothing.
That's
right?
Taurus shit. You only do in 2 pages.
That's Taurus shit. That's got to be it. Or maybe it was when we had a graphic novel with a published you know, other people who seem to throw shade don't have any publishing deals. But I don't work for you. I'm a publisher. This is a company called Band of They're a publisher. I believe that parts of this was in a thing in Arctic Press. Have you heard of that?
Was that shit in Diamond? I don't remember.
20 years? Yeah. I just want to know exactly when you become a Taurus.
I'll one up on you.
All right, what else you got?
This is a box called The Quiet Spy. And these This is my first comic series I ever made with printer paper.
Okay. I still have a guy at a con who does that. And he always comes up to me like, hey man, when are you gonna put me in your anthology? Maybe you take this shit seriously.
So this was my very first comic I made in 4th grade.
Right.
So the artwork hasn't improved, but we're
So my son, who if he draws anytime and draws them in panels, he is a Taurus and should get the F out because he's not welcome here.
Not just that, Travis. I mean, I have my clout wall. I've got a spinner rack.
Right.
I have over 100 indie comics on this bookshelf, on the spinner rack, mainstream. I mean, I don't. And that's my thing is that
shit. We don't even have comics behind me. I must be a poser because if anyone knows me, I don't read any comics. I just pretend to.
You motherfucker. Like, I think, and like Travis, you've probably known me like. Besides, like maybe like Larry, you've probably known me the longest, in comics, and like, I have felt that like, man, I feel like I am different, and I don't get along with these creatives very well, but I'm trying to, and then when it was said on Friday, he's not one of us, he's weird, and all of his actions point to being tourist, even though I'm like, no, like I love this, and they're like, no, that's a clout wall. You're a tourist. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I've been told you didn't read Todd McFarlane's Spawn #1 when it came out. You're a tourist. I'm like, bitch, I wasn't even born. Right. Like, oh, you haven't read like the greats. Like I've is this a thing? Like you've known me the longest. Is there truth to this?
So I wouldn't say there's a truth to it. There's a misconception, and I get that way too. Like I get very frustrated when someone does not have the care for the community. I get frustrated. But I'm also an adult and understand that not everybody loves something the same way, right? We have people who do not safe for work covers, right? They probably have read none of the stuff. But you know what? They can tell me what variant sells, what artist of this and that, because they study a aspect of the craft that I don't particularly care about.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you studying a different aspect of the craft doesn't make you a tourist. You know, yes, should you know some of those names? Sure. But again, if your goal is to be what my goal is to be in the mainstream. Your goal isn't that. It's never been that. But I could tell that hurt you. And yes. I have a few more statements about that. JD Calderon, I love you very much, and I don't mean to insult you on this. So what he's trying to say, because he's so popular, is the 6 people who watched JD's show, because I love JD, but the 6 people who watched it that night, all 6 of them text him at the same time or in his DMs. I don't think that really happened. I'm gonna.
Well, Travis, I'll give
a liar a liar.
I'll give JD
and
this.
Also,
actually,
hold on, I got one more.
Okay.
And just to prove that he's a liar, today he said he was from New York, and in your tweet he said he's from New Jersey. Clearly, there's a contradiction. Clearly, he has, because he likes facts. There you go. Clearly, there's a problem there. There's some sort of lie.
I will say with JD's, that was actually a very well watched stream. And and in the chat, he got mad. He's like, everyone in the chat was being mean to me, and they were all wrong. It's like, maybe they just didn't like your opinion. Because my thing is this, there's no necessarily right or wrong when it comes to how you do this kind of stuff. It's just the point of it is I'm going to say my ideas. You're going to say your ideas, Travis. And then ultimately people decide what their ideas are. Now, if we're going to say you're saying there's gravity, and I go, gravity's not a real thing, then we're going to be like, all right, you're going to be like, no, that's not a subjective thing. Right. Gravity's real. But if we're talking about, is Neil Gaiman's The Sandman entertaining? And you're like, I love it. I'll be like, I hate it. And then you're going to give your points on why it's amazing. I'm going to give my points why I hate it.
It's okay to be wrong, but it's also okay to hate it now because he's canceled. So I mean, you win a little bit.
I won a long time. I was like, this guy's fucking a sexual.
You just played the long game.
I saw this tweet from talking tourism and whatnot. I saw this tweet from Edwin Boyette. I don't know what he does with his life, but I think he has too much time as an old man. But he says there should be no.
He seems like a fancy gentleman. I see his hat.
Yeah, that he's not. He talks like this. He says there should be no barrier beyond the purchase price to consume or engage with the comic. I've been curating my feed to filter out people who attempt. Actually, let's get to the first one. He says collecting, reading, and discussing indie comic books, and we can even go mainstream comic books, shouldn't be intensely negative. It's an observable barrier to participation in expanding the base of readers who enjoy our hobby. We can have discussions and say the Spider-Man is the best, and I can go, no, it's not, and we can have that disagreement, but it should never get to the point where it gets vile. And I was saying in here, you might not like the whole response I put. I'll paraphrase it. But I put last month, or was it this month, I did a road trip with Sumkun and Belle Creepy and their friend Eric. It's Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. We spent 4 hours talking comics that we liked, and literally each time someone talked about what they liked, everyone would go, that one sucked, you're gay for liking it. And then it was fuck you, and then the person would respond, fuck you, it was good. And then we'd laugh and move on, no feelings hurt, just a bunch of dudes laughing about comics. Literally it was hey, do you I was like, man, I really loved Scott Snyder's Court of Owls run. And then Mark Pellegrini's like, that's stupid, because right before that, Grant Morrison had already uncovered the Black Mask secret society, and now there's another, and I'm like, fuck you, it's really good. And he goes, no, fuck you, that's bad story pacing. And then, but I don't hate him. We don't hate each other. It was just it was fun. I think, I don't know. Travis, you've been in comics for a long time. I like you grew up with comics.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, my whole life. I mean, well, hold on. Let me like stop there because I think it's important. Comics for me saved my life. Like I was in a very bad situation. My parents were both drug addicts and superheroes. I didn't really superheroes. My parents were drug addicts. And,
They thought they were superheroes.
I just love them. They were so good.
Mom and Dad were flying.
There was a lot of parties at my house. There was a lot of bad things that kids shouldn't see. But those superheroes were what taught me right and wrong. You know, those are where I learned those lessons from. I didn't learn them from my parents. I learned them from them. And I decided that they meant something to me, and it meant tremendous amount to me. And then I'm a small kid from New Hampshire. I grew up, and I've shared this many times, but your audience may not know this. I come from where the Ninja Turtles are from, and I'm fucking old. So they were, starting to get extremely popular and get the cartoon when I was when it was going on. And so you could move out of this area, and these comics are really important, and they're important to society. Like for me, like I was taught that. And then Image Comics, like I was all at the boom of all that stuff. So for me, I was like, this stuff is so important, and it's got to be important, and it's embedded into me to be important. And that's where I think that I become an asshole sometimes when I like harass someone from manga or write.
Okay.
Because I am like, they don't respect it. They use it as periodically. They throw it away. They don't store that shit and save it forever, right? That stuff doesn't matter to them. They don't care. This is just a gateway to an anime.
You're like, I fought for this shit. Like I got bullied. I kept a secret. And then like for me, I didn't grow up in comics. My parents wouldn't let us read them. And so I read my first comic. I mean, I read my first like manga when I was like in 6th grade, and my parents like, don't you ever read that again. But I read them at school, and then I made my own comic. But I didn't buy my first comic book ever until I was 19. Wow. And so like, I didn't have the, oh, I'm going to get bullied or keep this secret or like, right. I didn't have that. So I feel like I come at it in a different view where I'm like, this is so cool. Everyone can be a part of it. And then I've got these war veterans who are like, I bled for this shit. Like I fought for comics. I'm trying to give some grace to the shitty individual. Do you think a part of that is added to that ego? It's because it's like, I love it more than you do. I've had it. It's been part of my life longer than you have, so you just don't get it. It's a privilege. They said it's a privilege for me to act the way I do in comics.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who had mentalities like that, especially when like the Marvel universe came out and X-Men, like people trying to tell me how it was gonna go, and I'm like, shit, I live and breathe this shit. Like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Mm-hmm. like how these connections, the old X-Men universe. Like how these characters are connected. I could tell them hours and hours and hours of this history. And then knowing the greats because you want to be a great writer, which is, again, I think is something he doesn't understand. You want to create comics. And I don't think you're a tourist and I don't think stuff, but you just want to produce art and put it out to the world and have people enjoy it. It obviously says something if you read it. They all say something. But for your books, it doesn't need to. Right, I would say that Demons doesn't have a huge, deep meaning. Plumber Sisters doesn't, but the Girl with Megafist does. Like, there's deeper stuff there. All your books aren't like that, and there's tons of people who do books like that. Right, Deadpool. Every Deadpool you ever read, it's not going to get emotions and get you deeply invested in Wade Wilson.
I know, but and like I've said this like on multiple streams where I'm like I was watching someone on Twitch go, and look at how Tyler did this paneling on Super Plumber Scissors. He's trying to invoke this. And I was like, buddy, I wasn't trying to invoke shit. Like this, I'm just trying to get to this part. Like the deepest thing that you can probably get on the Plumber Sister story is like, oh, sibling relationships are tough. Like right. That's about it. Whereas you're right with the girl with the Megafist, I do have it's a little more, talking about religion and like the people struggling with that. But you're right. Yeah, like with Super Plumber Sisters, like I want you just to have fun, and then dude, you could chuck it in the trash. Like you can chuck it in the trash, but I hope you have fun. Now I hope you don't. But I just hope you have fun with it. That's the mission. Whereas you're right, I feel like there are some times in Western comics where you're reading a book and it's like, what did you get out of it? And sometimes I read those books and I'm like, I didn't get anything out of it, nor did I want to. That's why like Sketcher Star Rex is like Tyler proudly reads trash. I mean, I legit read a ton of books that there's no meaning behind it. I just was entertained. I was just entertained.
Well, I mean, you know how I trash manga a lot, and I think that's part of the reason why. It's because it's meant to be thrown away. It's not meant to keep. It's okay with a slow pace. Those things don't mean anything. Where for me, like comics, especially as someone who wants to be a writer and as someone who tries to write very complicated stuff in my writing and deeper meaning, even Broke Down has like this deep emotional relationship arc, that I throw in the fourth act, even though I pretend it didn't. These things, there was a time when we had to fight that comics said something, right? Before we had Watchmen that came out as a movie, before we had the TV show Preacher or Walking Dead or some of these things, we had to prove that this was real literature. It wasn't just punching the Joker in the face. We had the campy Batman, we didn't have Heath Ledger's Joker say, these are complex stories of emotions.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. So I think that when you get the old guard or some of those people, and they view it as you are being disrespectful by not doing that, but they also feel that they get to dictate what you can and cannot read, where if they did that, they wouldn't get a Sean Gordon Murphy, who's extremely influenced by manga and the Western style and mixing them together. They wouldn't get a Joe Mad. They wouldn't get a Rob Liefeld because or Todd McFarlane did the exaggerations. They don't. I don't think they appreciate it because in the writing side, it's a lot harder to appreciate it. The only thing on the writing side is British people tend to do it better.
It's because they're so fucking miserable there.
Well, I actually know why they do it better.
I'm ready.
I can actually tell you. So it was just this random interview with Kieran Gillen, who did a bunch of X-Men. I know you don't know.
I know him. I know him. He did the Image book with all the fashion crap. The Divine?
Yes, he did.
Sorry, I'm a tourist, but
Oh, he knows Kieran Gillen, people.
Yeah.
Take that.
What about, he did Die?
He did Die. Die was a great book. Anyway, so what he said was, the Rolling Stones has a museum there, and it starts out showing how great the Rolling Stones are, okay? And then they become famous, and the back half of the museum are how shitty they are now as human beings. Because in England, to get wealth, like a Batman doesn't make sense to a lot of English people because acquiring wealth is bad.
Yes.
Because kings are bad. So the more things you have, the less like you are, which is very Democrat, which comics are more of a liberal format. I'm sorry for any of you CGers out there. They tend to like it a lot more. I'm just saying. You'd have a better library or clout wall if you're a little more liberal.
Having lived in England though, I was like I was the only one in my school who had like a house with like that was like a house. Like a house. Everyone else lived in like apartments or townhomes growing up when I lived there. And so, and like our house was paid for by my dad's company. And so like, and we even had a poor single family home, but it was still bigger than all my friends. So they'd be like, the fuck is this American guy?
Right.
And it's like, we're poor. And they go, no, you're fucking not. Like, I'm like, okay. So yeah, I can see that. I mean, there's they can resonate with like everyday struggle and the darker side of things. Whereas like you read Batman and it's like, yeah, this guy's rich. Like, what's the problem?
And you're reading Absolute Batman right now where he's doing the opposite, right? Where he's like, that Batman, if they was made today, probably would be this guy. Yeah. Because billionaires are running our country.
Because the Joker is a billionaire.
He only appears in the one panel, but yes, it implies that he's a billionaire.
I thought that was very interesting. And it's one of those things, by the way, where like I'm okay with wealth at a certain cap, and so I'm very interested to see like the conversation. I feel like capitalism. I'm very pro capitalism. I also think there should be you won. Like you did it. You're done playing. Like you're done playing. Everything else now is like spread out, but you can hit that. But like you're done playing.
but again, I got to go back to the stack here.
Yeah.
You're not Katy Perry claiming to be an astronaut. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like-
I am the next. I'm the next Neil Gaiman, dude. Like, without the sexual assault allegations.
Right.
I'm him. You read Super Plumber Sisters, like
allegedly, you're not like them.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen your sexy Wish Academia. I mean, I've never paid for the extra pages, but I've heard some things.
Do you think as well? Like, I mean, I have the luxury of being an artist, so I can like choose what books, like when I want to draw, and so like sometimes I want to be like, I just want to do a silly book for funsies because I can, but then you know, as a writer, you have to think of budget. Like you're like, I'm about to drop a couple $1,000. This book better mean something. Do you think that's a mentality?
I think 100%. I think we want it to mean something. I think I think a lot of people, and you know, especially this person we're talking about, I think him and I have a very similar background. You know, he wanted to be a filmmaker, he didn't pull it off. I wanted to be a filmmaker, I didn't pull it off. He tried. I had a kid and decided it was more important. But I think when we think of films, it's easy to go, oh, that film meant something. That director meant something. It's way harder to say that about comics, right? It's very few and far between where you go, that guy had something to say and it changed my life. And there is tons of that in comics, but those are the things that you're getting yelled at for not reading. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think it's crazy to be like, this is your clout wall. You only buy the stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I like everything that's on here. I mean, do I get clout for having, do you like the nerdy nurse? Like, am I getting clout for that? No, I probably should like not tell people I have that on there. I just think it's like disingenuous. Like, I feel like you have to check this boxes of you have to have read this and here's the thing. I remember feeling that when I started getting in the fandom. Do you remember when DC Comics, they put out like the official DC Comics reading guide, and like they'd be like, you got to read Watchmen. Like the only reason why I have Sandman is because it was in there. So I was like, I have to get all of these. The Dark Knight Returns,
Alamo Swamp Thing. Right,
yes,
right,
like
right.
that's the only reason why I bought them, because I was like, this is the checklist to get me in. And as I started reading some of them, I'm like, I'm not enjoying this per se. So I started kind of like deviating and getting more into like Image and then some other stuff. But I just feel like there are really good I feel like sometimes people take the comics parts, so the comics so seriously. And maybe it's because it's like out of protection, like of, you know, the community.
Well, here's the thing, and here's the reality. I could be a horrible writer. I don't think I'm a horrible writer. I don't have that problem. I don't believe in that. And there's so many books that I'm like, wow, this would have been better if I could afford a better artist. Like, I would have made more money. I would have had more backers. More people would have known that I'm better. But you're stuck at your budget. You got to figure that out. And then you feel bad because you really like the guys you're working with, but they're the guys you can work within your budget, right?
Yes.
So it's all this weird stuff. And then a lot of writers, the biggest fucking problem with writers, my Discord is going to probably yell at me for this, is a lot of them want this, me and this artist, we click and we want to do everything together. We're in sync. Artists, 9 times out of 10, just want to make sure they get paid. Right?
Yes.
That's it. They don't care about your supervision. And it's not that they don't care about your book. It's that they've been
they're an employee.
Like 5 or 6 guys beforehand.
Well, they're an employee. I mean,
right.
Like, my employees shouldn't care as much about the business as I do.
Right.
But I'm just paying them. We got Edwin Boyette in the chat. Good evening. Just popping in for a moment. I have a self-imposed YouTube budget for the week. Edwin, we went over your tweet. Just talking about like how it shouldn't be, how we should chill about comics, have a good time, and let people in the fandom. We got Jose Garcia saying Americans use the word justify a lot. Sketchstar Rex saying he's a bitter bitch. You're a positive person. That's the biggest difference.
I'll write that down.
Hero Darky Dark says we just need to gatekeep the French and we're good. They're good at comics though.
I prefer the Italians, but yes.
Massive.
they think it's real art. Like they'll like do one book a year. It's very complicated.
That's good though. Well, if they make enough money, then yeah. Massive Panda, it's fine not to be entertained by required reading in comics. Tyler, I was told The Grapes of Wrath was a great must-read American novel. I read it and wanted to blow my brains out. Boring book. Yeah, like I feel like sometimes like you want to come in, and I feel like having these purity tests of saying like, well, you have to read this, you have to know this, makes someone go like, like I don't. Like this is hard. Like this is. I remember the first time I went to a comic book store. I had a horrible experience because the manager sucked. I was like, "Hey, like this is my first time here. I want a Batman comic." And the guy's like, the New 52 had just started. So they're like, "What do you want? Batman, Detective Comics, Batman, Robin, Batman Incorporated, or the Dark Knight?" And I was like, I saw a pop-up that had Joker's face off of it. He's like, "Well, that storyline's currently in Batman, but also there's some tie-ins with Nightwing." And I'm like, dude, I am new. Like, just show me what to do. And then he went off to help a customer. So like luckily I had I had my iPhone, so I like Googled and I'm like, okay, I need this. But like that was a bad experience. And I moved the next week.
Well, it's those required reasons. Those required readings are why we have so much complications with getting new characters to sit, right? Why do we keep revamping own characters? Because you care so much about the continuity. It's easier to give a shit about a revamped character than it is a new character because you have all this required reading that tells you that this character is not good.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, we're hitting a good point. Let's talk about required reading real quick.
Okay.
Holiday Spirits.
Yeah.
Required reading.
Yeah, well, this is volume 4. Yeah. This is the first time we're putting floppies together into a trade. So those 3 floppies right there, 1, 2, and 3, putting them together in a trade. We're going to add about 30 pages to it. So this is our 4th volume in the series. It's a lot of fun if you like holiday stories around Christmas time. And unlike the other anthologies, these ones have like those floppies had ongoing stories in them. So you have a 4-part story of just one character. You have a 4-part story about basically it's the holidays. So we see what Santa does during the holidays off. We see what Krampus does during the holidays off. We see what Mrs. Claus does the holidays off. So there's a lot of that there too. So it's really interesting. It's really combining getting this out. And we're doing the old EC covers, you know. For those who know what that is, required reading.
I'm dude, I have, it would be too long, but I have a Santa story.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It's and it reads like a children's book, and it's called The List, and I was supposed to have it done 2 years ago, just a one shot, but it kept getting bigger and bigger. And essentially what happens is that Santa Claus is the one who delivered the Epstein list. And he says, "Hey, listen, you guys have a year to like put this out publicly, or like I'm canceling Christmas and like I'm gonna start like I'm gonna get mad." And so it goes like 3 years without any like exposure. Right. So then Santa quits Christmas that year and then goes, "I'm gonna start taking out everyone on the list." But it's written in a children's book, and I got into all the lore. I changed the names. It's not called Epstein, but it's the Epstein list.
Stepstein.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, and then the elites, they're like, "Oh crap, Santa's like coming and he's killing everyone." So then they have to summon Krampus, and then eventually like Santa's like,
"That sounds great.
Thank you. I just need to do it."
Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds like a great thing.
I like this cover. I like this vintage feel.
Yeah, that's an EC cover. He does all those. We love it. So yeah, Etienne did that.
Can Tyler turn his mic up? Man, does my mic keep going down? Yes. Let me look it up.
It's going down. They're yelling timber.
Dude, my mic. Dude, yes. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, my mic keeps going down. I don't know why. That angers me to no end. So how many more do you guys have planned to do, or is this the last Holiday Spirits?
No. We have another one. So Jerome has 2 more one-shots. He has a Canada Day, which is super interesting with all the stuff going on in Canada right now. And then he has a Thanksgiving Holiday Spirits. And then this December, if we get it done in time, we plan on doing Holiday Spirits Monsters. and that's going to be all your Universal monsters like Disney, like Dracula and Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man and Mummy and all them. What do they do during the holiday season? So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I like this, man. Speaking of Canada, I saw like their elections are definitely going because of the what's it called, the tariffs.
Right.
I think had Trump not done the tariffs, because Pierre Poilievre was very like the very right wing, he was gonna win.
Yeah.
And then Trump did the tariffs, and like everyone's like, okay, we don't like you and we don't trust you, Pierre.
Right.
And yeah, I think that could be one of the biggest fumbles of that of Trump's tariffs, will be the fact that Pierre lost that support. That's some tiny political talk. All right, so you guys have plans. Did this? I remember, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Did this ever get into Diamond?
Yes. Band of Bards took the first volume into Diamond.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that do?
It did okay. It didn't come out. So Diamond apparently reserves the right. So all it labeled as all the writers and artists were variable. So it's variable, right?
Shut up.
So various. So that doesn't help. Isn't he cool?
Yeah.
And look, this one, the next one, you're gonna love. You remember an old book called Bial?
Called the what?
Chuck Pino and Sean Barber. Bial.
Yeah, Belial.
Bial, yes. This is what Greg Rorschach looks like when he colored. Look at that. That's what's been taken away from you all this time.
What are you calling it?
Bial?
Isn't it Belial?
I think you're saying it right, and I'm not correct.
How's Chuck, by the way?
He's good. He's back. He's living in Canada right now, which is good. This is the first election he could actually vote in.
That's good. I missed Chuck.
And you can buy all of our add-ons, all of our cool books. So we make a lot of books. I am also a tourist. You can tell by the amount of books I have.
I don't get it. I like that. Like, and you called it out. That you saw how visibly upset I was, and I was very angry.
It's a very, very that's not a critique. That's not a statement. He could say, hey, I wish you spent a little bit more time on making better comics. There's ways to what I think he was trying to say. Like I was looking for in Tyler. I'm gonna call you out here a little bit.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Let me blow you up.
Yeah. Your double page spreads need some work, bro. You move the head a little bit and you're fine.
Wow, hold on. That's very bad. Hold on. I should probably open these books up before.
You got a better version?
I just don't think I've opened it.
If I lead him to the right here, he looks fine. Like, there you go.
That's bad. Hey everyone, I'm sorry.
Again,
no, fuck you, Travis. I can't take criticism.
Thousands of people do that all the time. But you've been doing this quite a bit. You can do better on those dump page spreads.
Damn, like when I did the PDF like preview, it was not like this at all. I even like widened his face. Oh well, oops. Note to self.
It's better to just lean them into one side of the other to make those things work.
See guys, look at that. I took some.
You took look at that. You took criticism.
Constructive criticism. That's the thing. Constructive criticism.
And curious, because I was reading this. I was trying to read it before I didn't finish. It's interesting. You kind of recap. Do you recap everyone? And I just forgot, like at the end of the issue, or just this one?
What do you mean recap?
Like the big event from 3. At the end of 3 happens again in 4.
Wait, what are you talking about?
This big thing?
No, it's because it starts off with like a recap.
Yeah,
the first part.
But it's new art. Like it's not you did the art again.
No, so it's not a recap. It's because at the end of volume 3, spoilers, she makes a decision and it just happens. And then it ends, and so this is like the moments right before it's right before she makes the decision.
Like a little flashback. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. You see, what happened there, Tyler, is I read your book and then I had comments about it, giving it a try, not saying that I can look at something because I've ate soup once that I know whether or not it's going to be good or bad soup.
And also, you can improve. It'd be very disingenuous, Travis, if I went, I'm not going to check out maybe Hospice or Coins of Judas or your next Granite State Punk book because of what I read and broke down in Four Dead Bodies #1.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and I would encourage you, if you read Broke Down in Four Dead Bodies, to please read my other books. I've gotten way better.
But and that's the thing, and that's why I try to pull that point off during that show. Is just like one like kind of bad thing. Like one great thing about the internet is that the barriers to entry to get into this stuff are almost gone. Like you don't have to ask for permission to get into comics. You can just get into comics. The problem is that you grow in public, whereas you see a lot of these big creators back in the day. You don't see Grant Morrison's very first comic book that he ever made.
Right.
He just comes out the gate as Grant Morrison.
Right.
And maybe they might have done some stuff with 2000 AD and whatnot, but it's still not. You're still not getting them at their ground level, which is why it's actually one reason why I think Eric July got so much criticism for ISOM and the quality is because they went, oh, this guy raised $1 million. It should be good. And it's like, actually, bro, this is Homeboy's technically first comic. Like,
I think also, but he was critiquing comics on the regular basis, ripping apart.
Correct. That doesn't help him. You're correct. I didn't think it helped. Correct. I don't think he helped his case per se.
Right.
I don't think he helped his case per se. But like had I put out ISOM and that was my very first comic, people might be cheering like, hey, this looks good. Good job for a first go. But because he has all this traction plus $1 million, it's like, bro, what? And it's like, well, that's his first comic technically.
Well, and you should look at your if you look at your old stuff and go, this shit was the bomb. I did it really well. You are not growing as a creator or as a person or anything. And you really should stop. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but if you think that your first book is just as good as your book now, you're wrong, and you haven't grown. You can't accept criticism. You can't get better because you're at the peak, right?
Yeah, dude. One of my biggest criticisms I got of the Girl with the Mega Fist they were like, one backer went, hey Tyler, just to let you know, the first chapter of Girl with the Mega Fist is all exposition. I hated every moment of it. Then it got good. Never do it again. And I went, you know what? That's true. And I got a ton of other people that told me that. So I went, okay. It's too late. I already have that in there. So like I should have as a more experienced writer maybe weaved that backstory throughout the story, but I didn't. So I learned that. And then so with like Super Plumber Sisters, you won't see that. Or with Bold Assassin, you won't see it. But I did it with My Sexy Witch Academia for the first just 4 pages. And the same backer went, hey, you did it again. I told you not to. And I went, fuck, you're right. I forgot.
But here's the thing, because I remember that comment in the stuff, which was really funny that he brings up Neil Gaiman, who is the king of exposition. That's what he does. Karen Gillan, that's what they do. Grant Morrison, all the people we like, they're fucking wordy. They do long expeditions, so fuck you. Like that's my fuck you. I will say that. Now, I get what the intention of what he was trying to say. I get the intention. See, I can see subtleties. Look at that. But there's tons of expedition. It's just the way to do it. If you're describing what you're drawing, you shouldn't be doing it, right? Especially you as the artist. Like, you should be able to say that story in your artist. Sometimes we use exposition as writers because we don't like the page. A lot of people are talking about this Vatican City Narwhal. If I piss somebody off, I'm sorry. I think it looks muddy. I think it's the worst vampire comic book I've ever read in my entire life. And I am not a Mark Miller hater.
Damn, we're trying to get you backers, Travis. Damn.
Don't care.
No. But like, is it just the art style?
It's just muddy. It's the way he does stuff. And that's fine. It's not bad art in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying it's just muddy. It doesn't look clean. It looks rushed. Maybe that's what Mark Millar liked about Narwhal's Road. I don't know his art, but I read that book. I felt the art looked kind of rushed. I felt the story was garbage. I really am not kidding, and I apologize if I offend anybody. I love Mark Millar. I love Hitman. I love Civil War. I love a lot of his stuff. I can go to my room right now, grab fucking Prodigy, which is horrible. You all know that's horrible too. I have it on my shelf. Oh, Magic Order, I got it. I read Mark Millar. Anybody who's on my Discord, I think Caden's still, he can back me up. I defended him. But that is the single worst vampire book I've ever read in my fucking life.
Dang.
It is so bad.
I haven't read it yet. I skimmed through the art. I've known Narwhal for I think 7 years. I've streamed with him before. I actually thought, like, knowing Narwhal's art, and I have a lot of his indie books, that's actually like the cleanest of his books.
Oh, okay.
So I say that because, like, as someone who likes Narwhal's art, if you were like, this is messy, you weren't gonna like his other stuff. You wouldn't like his indie titles because he's a lot more loose and muddy. And that's just his style. So
well, that also could be. Let me give a caveat to that for Narwhal, because again, I don't know him. I don't know style. Yeah. Mark Millar's stuff is always clean.
Yeah, no, okay, that's actually very good, because I've got that King of Spies graphic novel the other day to add to my clout wall, and and I went.
It has a second volume, so I mean, you can get two.
Oh, now I only need one, because I just got to add it to the.
Right. Sure.
I didn't know there was two. That's cool, because I'm not reading them in the floppy releases. But that's actually a really good observation. Like, even Kick-Ass is still very clean with John Romita Jr.'s art.
Yeah, I mean, John Romita is a dirty artist, but you can very much tell.
There's still like still visually exactly. Whereas you're right with Narwhal, he only gives you like the most important element, and then everything else is up for grabs.
I see I'm doing fine here in the chat. Massive Panda hasn't read it, but Sketchosaurus agrees with me. Why would you say something so harsh? It is a true statement, and I'm really, like, I get we want to support our indie guys, like, going up, like, cool. I still think it's the worst vampire book I've ever read.
But if anything, then that's not a testament to Narwhal. That's Mark Millar and doing a Netflix pitch, another one of his Netflix pitches. But it's one of those. I hope that Narwhal is able to go up from here. I mean, I remember streaming with him like 8 years ago, and it was like, yeah, so when I'm done with this, I got to go back to like the cold meats section at like Walmart, because that was like his job. So like, it's cool that that's where he's at. He's at right now.
No, I still support the indie crew, but I'm not going to say something's good because it's good, or I'll say it's not for me. I like that if it got new readers, if it got Narwhal CG, correct?
No.
Okay. CG adjacent?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, CG. I'd say CG. He's a CG. He's like maybe a little more than what I would be considered, but he's been kind of blasted in that place and kind of left.
But if it brings some CG readers back into comic stores, it did a good thing for the comic community.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, because it's so like hate the mainstream.
Right.
And there's like, okay, well, we got to support this one.
Right.
And then while they're there, maybe they're like, but Batman does look kind of good.
You want to hear a cool story about my comic store?
I'm ready.
So Rob Liefeld recently said that comic stores are unreliable, and that's why he's only going direct to consumer and selling on a website.
Oh, for Youngblood?
For Youngblood. So there was a Youngblood issue that came out in comic stores as like a remastered, and I was like, hey, I didn't see that on the shelf. And they informed me in great detail that, well, since we're so unreliable, we can't get it. We can get it for you.
Shit. Is this Danny?
No, this isn't Danny. This is my comic store is Famous Faces. Danny lives in Orlando, like an hour away, but I visit him a lot. And it was one of those fun things where I have to be like, sitting, well, I kind of want the book, but I also want to stand and support my comic store. So if anybody sees a copy or sends it to me, please.
Because you're not buying it. Because
I'm not buying it. Like, you can see it at another store. I'm not buying it. I have to say it's solidarity.
See you, Sketchosaur. Edwin saying, the only critique I would offer is acknowledge the limited emotional range and subtlety of comic book fans. Sometimes if you can't say any good, it's just better to withhold opinion. Acknowledge the limited emotional range of comic book fans. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a funny statement.
Okay, but okay. And
this is why he bans him. I see why he bans himself from YouTube sometimes.
Okay, but I come at this with the most humbleness and respect, because like we established, I came into comics at 19 and 20, so I didn't have the I wasn't like the kids in my high school that were under the stairs playing like Yu-Gi-Oh and like talking in secret and kind of, I don't know, ostracized socially at my high school.
Right.
Like, you see the picture I'm trying to paint? Although I did one time find my old Yu-Gi-Oh deck and I tried to play those kids and they absolutely raped me. And that was really embarrassing because like the whole school was watching.
I've never been able to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I played Pokemon Magic, but those numbers were too big.
Don't play. Yeah, don't play that game. The game sucks.
Did you hear about Spider-Man though in Magic?
Spider-Man's in Magic?
So there is a actual Magic set coming out that's 100% Spider-Man. Not like their small little set. Like it's the official set will be Spider-Man. But here's where it gets complicated. They don't have the license to do it for their online Magic. So their online Magic will have a separate set that has the same abilities. So it'll still be Spider-Man, but you'd have to know the name of
it's
what
like
Spider-Man.
Web. It's like Web Boy and
Arachno Boy.
Okay,
Right?
that's
All right, but go on your debate. Sorry, like.
Oh yeah, so like, do you think there's also this sense of like you've seen me, you saw me get kicked out of Facebook groups, and then they get kicked out of some Twitter stuff. Do you think it's just because from us like how I socialize is just different than like, because a typical maybe comic book fan, because I find you very sociable, Travis,
right,
well-rounded. But I mean, I have been to some Comic Cons where I'm like,
you like to debate. We talked about this offline a little bit, and I don't want to go into all the stuff I said offline because a lot of that stuff was personal things I'd always say offline to you.
I mean, you can. I thought that was really funny. I get
it, but I also want to be respectful in general. I again, I'm willing to call my friends assholes. I do that offline, like a respectful human. I think that you. I think something in your life, I don't know what it is, you have something to prove.
Yeah, my mom's I'm Asian.
You're Asian. I'm Asian. I'm Asian and not very smart.
I'm Asian. I want to make my mom and dad proud because they never said I love you.
I'm bad at math.
I am super bad at math.
Like when I hear you say like, I'm done. I'm gonna go down to Girl with the Mega Fist, and I'm gonna go down to just my Joker thing. I don't believe that might be true because you're always wanting to create something. Every time you talk, just now you're like, oh, I have the Santa Claus list thing that I've been working on. I know you've been working on the detective story. I know that these things that you don't say that don't hurt you. Like Coins of Judas, we've talked about it several times. I know desperately if we could do Coins of Judas again, you'd love to do that. Like,
oh yeah, that did hurt.
Right. I mean, and you come up with ridiculous things that you don't even realize would hurt other people. You're like, hey, well, I have this issue. Why don't we come up with the real version? I was like, well, I mean, the other one came out. You can't really call yours the real version. Kind of that's mean to Rollins. We were nice to him. Like, we don't hate Rollins.
No, I love Rollins.
But these things, I think, matter to you. So I think sometimes when you try to prove yourself, you have all these extra skills. Hey, I'm good at marketing. Let me teach you how to market. You're trying to give them a whole bunch of skills, and they're just like, but I want to talk about comics. And you're like, cool, let's talk about comics. These mangas are really great. And now you're like, I can't relate to this fucking dude.
Okay.
He's trying to talk marketing, and then I get him to talk about comics, and he's like, I want to talk about manga. So we've already lost you.
You know what's so funny is like I even though I have and like I love manga, I still read more comic books than I do manga, because every time I try to start a manga, I'm like, there's 30 volumes. I'm getting the Batman Dylan Dog. It's one-shot graphic novel. This is easy. Someone's like, you should get into this manga. I go, okay. I'm like, 15 volumes. Nah, I'm just gonna get House of Men.
I read a manga for you, and I was very angry that I did.
Which one?
I read Chainsaw Man.
Oh.
The guy looked cool. I was talking to it, and the guy hides in a dumpster and talks to a dog all day. That's not a good book.
You take
and they're
that
like,
back.
Get to volume 5. No, fuck you. I'm not getting to volume 5.
You take that back. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It may be, but that first volume is him hiding into a dumpster and talking to a stupid dog.
Yeah, that's
like, why is there a Pokemon when he looks cool as a demon? Like, I don't understand.
No. You know, it goes inside of him.
No.
And that's why the chainsaw. So it's in him. That's why he's able to be the chainsaw man.
The Pokemon? I don't understand.
The Pokemon goes in him, which gives him the chainsaw ability.
So if you don't put them in balls, they go inside you? Like, I understand why the Japanese people are putting them in balls. Like, we don't want these things inside of us.
Massive Panda says, Tyler gets in trouble for absolutely nothing.
That's not true.
Hold on, let's deal into this. He'll give milk toast comment like, "Yo, I think creators need to be more business minded, and people's heads will explode." I don't get it. I will agree that, and fuck you for that New York comment as well, where he was just like, "I'm New York, I say stuff bluntly." Okay, well, I say stuff bluntly too. That was a comment from this today. You weren't tagged, so you probably didn't see it. But they're like, "Yo, I'm from New York, so 90% of what I want to say, it's blunt, but I don't. And 90% of what I say is blunt. Right. And I do. So I will say, yo, I think creators need to be more business minded. But then I always add, I'll typically add something. This is why they suck. But that's. I
mean, you get in less trouble when you're on Facebook. I know you don't like Facebook as much because you don't get as much trouble.
It's boring. It's boring.
Right? I understand.
I should join your Discord again.
I mean, you can argue there all day. You're very good at it.
I think one thing to me is like, I think I
actually, speaking of it, if people need a community, our Discord is open. I do vet you to make sure, but if you need a community, we have a great community. We have over 300 people. We just opened. We invite 20 people a month. So if you need a community, if you really want to grow your craft and learn something, not be a damn tourist like Tyler. Look at all these tourist books that he's made.
I will say, like, out of all, like, because like there used to be some good Facebook groups for like indie creators, like Indie Comic Conspiracy. I think that's where you and I met. Like, it was very good, and now there's really none of those places left anymore. And I'd say
they're all just spam ads.
Correct, they're all spam. So I would say that like your Discord is like the best place for actually if you want creator to creator engagement. I think sometimes people think like, oh, I hate, like Tyler hates these creators. I actually love indie comics so much that I'm just like, you talk with someone, they like, I was talking to a creator and they're like, I don't need an email list, and I'm like, I want you to succeed so well, so like that's why I want to ram an email list down your throat, because I want you to succeed. And yeah, I don't do it the best way. I'm like I'm doing this because I love you.
It's the problem with indie comics in the Kickstarter space, as more and more people find it, as it becomes more prevalent for not safe for work, you cannot rely on social media. You cannot. And now social media, and this may offend some people, but it has a biased tint to it. So it shares things that are more like that conservatives like, and they don't like comics. Like, as a whole, they like guns, Bibles, and like putting lawn signs outside that say that we got rid of Mexicans. I don't know why they did that today, but that's what they did.
Is that what we're doing today?
Yeah, they put the lawn signs of all the immigrants they got rid of. They're very proud of it.
I gotta call my wife to see if we put ours out.
I'm fine with it as long as they do the January 6th guys next.
My bosses are Colombian. They're like Tyler, what are you gonna do if we treat you bad? I go, oh, don't worry, I don't think you will, but if you do, I just got ice on speed dial, so I'll see. They go, but I'll see you in an El Salvadorian prison. They go, but we're not El Salvador. I went, buddy, it don't matter. I'll get you.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, I'll get you.
Yeah, how do you feel? You're not really white enough, or do you think you're fine?
I'm Chinese, so I'm just trying to learn enough Chinese so that if we get invaded, I can be like,
Yeah, I heard the China stopped sending boats over.
Damn.
which is you can do tariffs all you want, but if you stop sending the product completely, like you're really fucked. Like that is the night meat truck tactic.
Oop Horror
Mhm.
says an email list is worthless when you can't fund a comic. That's a very 90s piece of advice and outdated.
No, it's not. The people who are successful, every single person right now has, and I'm a marketing guy. I came from marketing. I used to bash email lists all to pieces. But that's because I realized because I wanted them to buy AdWords and I wanted to run their Google accounts and I wanted to run the search engine optimization. I didn't care about their needs. I cared about how much money I could
Yeah.
go. All right, it's going to be 200 for the ad spend and 300 for me. We made that's a $500
Yeah.
deal.
Like an email list, an email list that has that you have built up with the right audience is your most powerful tool. Like people are like, oh Tyler, you only got 100 views on your YouTube live stream. It's like, yeah, but I get over 1,000 plus views per email, and then they all back the book. So
yeah, I mean, and then we talk about BackerKit, which I taught you BackerKit, if you remember correctly.
I know I don't ever talk about it. So like I'm kind of like shut the fuck up, Travis.
No. Look it. I'm showing it right now.
Ah, this is like the secret tool.
Just a screenshot. But this can be done with an email list. You don't have to pay for it. I'm willing to pay for it. I hang $100.
I only show this to people I like.
I'm not gonna explain how it works.
It don't
That's a
matter.
secret. Go ahead. Go show them. Launch.
I'm trying to add it to the stage. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's mine. Before presenting a screen, remove other media stream. Okay, fine, remove.
Oh, really? So right here, this is from my email that I sent out. So I sent out all these emails. What is my percentage? Hold on. I'm not looking at the spot of the results. Hold on. Let's go to the first one. So this is the first email that I sent out. Let's see the results right here. Results. So I got 17 pledges from that. I could actually figure out which ones were stuff, how much I made, all that. But I sent out 3,000 emails, 937 opened them. I got 94 clicks. I got 17 pledges from them. That's really good return. You guys aren't into marketing, so I know those numbers don't look good, but those are really good. And then you talk about things with Substack where I get a 42% open rate. This is boring.
That's fucking. But no. See, this is where I'm passionate because I'm like because then I have some people who are like I have some people who are like it's indie creator who are like I gave up on my email list because I was only getting a 30% open rate, and I'm like. That's the good number. They're
right.
like, oh, I only was getting 2% click. I'm like, that's where you need to be, but they don't understand the numbers. So they go, oh, I was only hitting 30 or 40%. I'm like, no, that's so fucking good. What was your click rate? I was only getting 3%. Oh my gosh, like that's so good. Now you just have to figure out how to up your email list numbers, keep the open rate and click rate. You're gonna make money. It's just a math. It's just a numbers game. Let's see. Oopor says Tyler. All right. Tyler isn't Doug TenNapel. My point is nobody is joining your email list if they don't even back your comic. That's not true.
Right. Well, but we get them to back it through other ways, through our comic. So if they backed our comic, we know that they're interested, and then we get them.
Yeah.
You can also do, there's email lists, there's groups there's literally communities where they'll go, we're going to give away all these horror comics. Like they'll send you a big package. All you got to do is sign up for this thing, and they just collect email. Guess what? One of the reasons why I do anthologies is I get other people's emails.
Don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud.
And then they join me, and now they're on my list. Shh. It's all part of a bigger thing.
I have like 3 or 4 of my comics free on my website. So the moment they back the book, they get the free book. It's that's now they're on my email list. That's not a shot, Tyler. I just meant you're not a boomer. But like once again, and like we don't have to. This isn't a marketing discussion, but my point is, it's like there are tactics that like people just go, I don't need that. That's not true. And I guess, yeah, I get very like, one, marketing is my life. So it's just like, I'm just like, no, like I wish you would just listen, stop talking, just listen, trust, like this stuff works. One of the things I've heard from multiple people, and it kind of angers me, is when they go, well, Tyler, how come you're not a millionaire in comics if you know all these things? And I'm like, you can give advice. Like, there's still good advice, even if I'm not a millionaire. Having an email list is good advice. Posting on social media is good. Like targeting your audience is still good advice. Why is Tyler not a millionaire? Maybe I'm just not there yet. Maybe I need another 10 more years, and I've still got to do the same stuff. And maybe I need to get it at 10 more years.
It's attrition. It's anybody who writes a book or novel will tell you, the more stuff you do, the better chance you have. You talk to any editors. How do you get a writer to pay attention to you? Make books. And it sounds stupid, but it really is the thing. I am going to New Hampshire. They're paying for my table out there. I'm going to Texas. They're flying me out, paying for my table, paying for stuff. They're giving me cash. They're giving me petty cash to eat and stuff. Like, I got that, even though I'm an indie guy, because I work really hard and I made enough books that people, if I flew to a place that I'm not at, will come to see it.
Why aren't you at a millionaire then, Travis, if you do all these things?
Because I have a family. They take all my money.
Well, but I think that's like really I think it's a really disingenuous thing, because it's like, you can do all the right things and it just takes time. Like, how do you win? You just don't quit. Let's see. Poor Travis, you're not dropping knowledge. Rippaverse is getting all those emails by shipping others comics. My only point was everybody knows to build an email list, but how does one get one? Cash. I'll stop.
No, so I've never paid for an email list. There is people who do. You don't get the same results for people who've done it, because I've helped people who've bought email lists and got stuff.
Bad.
You don't get the results. And you can't buy the guy who messages you and says, oh, I got like 10,000 emails. Cool. But if there are 10,000 emails of things that aren't interested in you,
it's worthless.
Now, if I was doing a horror book and Tyler was doing a horror book, maybe I could trade, or instead of trading,
we do an update swap.
Have Tyler write to his email list, hey, I really like this other author, especially if he doesn't do it often. It means so much. Right. It's very similar to what people do for backer swaps or going on someone's show. I don't care if I get backers on Tyler's show or not. I just want to hang out with Tyler. We haven't hung out in a long time. But that's why people do it. And the better to do, the problem is I don't get results. That's because you're on the same shows with the same people every time. You're never going to do anything because you're preaching to the same people. If every time I look in the comments, I don't know a lot of these people in the comments. I know Massive Pena because he's been around for a long time. I know Caden because he was there. I know Mr. X. But that's about it. A lot of these other guys I don't really know very well. Again, and if you go on mine, there's a lot of people you don't know very well. Those are the secrets, but they don't want to talk about it because they like their clicks in their story. Okay, cool. We'll stay where we are. That's going to happen.
You gotta go out and meet new people.
Right.
Which means sometimes you have to have different conversations that you're not comfortable with. Like I didn't, like, that was the first time I had gone on the Lucid Comic Productions show. I wasn't very familiar with the people in his chat, and It got heated. But I actually gained several followers.
Nice.
After that, and then I got some late pledges. I got like maybe 2 or 3 late pledges. After that stream, and like, was it uncomfortable? Like, was I getting like jabs all night long? Yeah, but you just have to be able to present yourself.
And again, the only positive thing I'll say about the other guy is he hustles. He's on a lot of shows. He will go on shows. I've talked to many of them, and they would like you to stop begging them to come on every 2 minutes and every time they do a show. I won't tell you who said that, but it has been 3 of them. 3 people have given that for you. That's my DMs that are blowing up, boy.
Well, it's the, oh, I have a book, so let me go on their promo train, and I don't talk to them until I have a book, and then you just start raping them. Hey, I want to, hey, and it's like, do you care about?
I don't do that. I do that once a year. I pick a book, that I will do hey, I need my favor. And other than that, I don't, because I do so many books. I do a book a month, because I really want to do this. It's super important to me. I'm adding more and more stuff to my catalog. My wife wants me to be an influencer, which I know sounds crazy, but like on Facebook, I make $30 a month just by posting. So her logic is, and she's probably right.
Do fucking more.
Right. If I'm on other platforms, I could probably make money other places.
Yeah.
Your LP, it infuriates me that he has an audience. It infuriates me.
Why?
Because that he could monetize, well, actually, he's been good lately, but like before, it was just hate. It was monetizing.
Oh yeah, he's kind of he's going through some stuff right now.
No,
he's got a.
But that infuriates me because my YouTube doesn't. But I also know that I don't do the right thumbnails. I don't schedule it out.
It's everything.
All the things I need to do that would probably affect my ability to produce as many comics. So, like, where do I do it?
It's a give or take. I mean, like, I'm currently in this. I currently in the situation where I am personally running too many books. And I did it because when I was unemployed, the only way to make money was comics. I just kept putting out a book. Now that I have a job, I'm like, okay, I cannot handle these many books. I can handle 1.5, at best. So yeah, I agree. It inhibits. I mean, for me personally, I want to make more content, but I have too many books right now. So I'm like, I've got to fulfill Super Plumber Sisters this week. And I'm like,
well, I just saw Caden's comment. Caden, you're absolutely right. You marketed that book for a year.
Yes.
Everyone wanted you to succeed. And that's the other secret. If you don't have an email list, you need to market your book for a year. Show pages, show your build, put it on do whatever you need to do to build that audience before you go. I did very well on Broke Down. I think I had 150 backers my first time out. And I did it relatively fast, but I also work at a web design company, a marketing company. So I know the basics of what I needed to do, what to say, what shows to go, what communities are going to be there, and actually join communities, guys. What happens is a lot of you guys will join a whole bunch of groups and you'll just spam your stuff. They don't care about you. You need to show that you care about them, talk about their project. Maybe back one or two. Over 20 would be great. If you've collected, a lot of backers. Anything over 20 is recommended.
Well, one thing about Caden is
he's great.
How many you got, Travis? What's the tourist? What's your tourist numbers look like on your backing? What you got?
Oh, my tourist, my tourist numbers. Let's see where I'm currently.
You backed how many?
I'm checking right now. It's doing the little circle thing.
I think
hopefully it's because all you guys are backing Holiday Spirits. Yeah. There's so many backs coming in right now. It's Kickstarter is struggling to keep up.
I think
even though I can just scroll down and find out, it's 1,324.
It's pussy ass numbers.
Yeah, those are tourists.
Peak tourism. I think I'm at like 200 plus. So
and by the way, if Boy wants to challenge, we can go door to door and look at them, and I can show you most of them are physical because I actually
no, those are all $1 ones. Those are optics. Optics. Can I say real quick before I get into before I spend the next 10 minutes?
How about mangas? Fucking
before I spend like 5 minutes complimenting Caden. I
don't even like this Travis.
Trevis. Trevis. Dude,
you just spelled it wrong.
That's a 15-issue book, man.
Whatever happened to that guy, Travis?
Dude, do you remember that Shane guy, the ginger with like the hot girlfriend or now wife?
Yeah, and he disappeared.
Yeah, he does. I think that was like the last book. Because he did Beast. That was the artist that for Beast King.
Beast King, right?
Yeah. And after I think once Shane was gone, I don't think he does anything anymore.
Huh. Interesting.
Maybe I don't know.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah. Before I go compliment Caden, dude, one thing that really pissed me off on Friday night was that every time that they would make a point, they'd be like, oh, well, that's just my opinion. You just don't like it. You can't take criticism. But I'd make a point. They go, oh, you're just straw manning. And I'm like, what? Or I'd be like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? Oh, you're just straw manning. I'm like, God.
See, and here's the thing that you need to learn. Couple things. One,
Don't do those.
exposition. Tons of people do exposition. Don't be fooled by that again. Strawman go. I would love to stop doing that. Can you please explain your definition of strawman? We'll stick to yours, and then you get to use that throughout the conversation. That's how. What he like. What that he likes to. He doesn't listen to what you have to say. He listens to the wrong thing you have to say and attacks that. So out of the, diatribe of like 4 paragraphs of what you said, he looks for the one sentence that had a flaw in it and he attacks.
Which, by the way, I will say I appreciated. One thing I did appreciate that stream is I went to work and this today I went to my business manager because I'm sorry, not my business partner, because I'm kind of the face of the business. I do most of the talking. And I was just like, hey, Clint, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah. I went, does it take me a long time to get to my points? And he goes, what do you mean? I went, well, let's say you asked me to teach you something. What would happen? He's like, I mean, you'll throw in a couple random side quests, then you'll get to the point. I'm like, okay, we have a team meeting today. Can you like ring this buzzer? He's a buzzer. And I go, when someone asks me a question and if I'm veering off, oh, dude, I fucking hated that buzzer today. I fucking hated that buzzer. But it made me, because you said it when you were talking to me, and a lot of people there said it. They're like, hey, Tyler, like, you weren't able to present your points very well in that stream. But and then they said it might have been because you were getting all these personal jabs. So I had a coworker. Look, I'm doing it right now. He's there like, you've got to practice on just getting your point out. And I was like, that's a fair assessment.
I think I used to do it too. But when you can get your point across, it's going to help you in your other business, to get to the sale. Because you ask for the sale. The minute you can ask for the sale, the sooner you can get to that, you can stop all the bullshit. But what's happening is you don't trust yourself in certain aspects. So whether, I shared privately, I'm not great at SEO. Like, I can do it, but I'm not great at it.
Yeah.
So I talk my way around SEO, right?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you a bunch of stuff. And then I think the same thing with comics. When you don't feel you're up to par because you haven't read the DC list or the Marvel list, you talk your way around it, which hurts you from the actual point.
Not even that. I think I'm like, oh, I've got all these side stories I could add, but it's like, don't add them. Don't add these extra anecdotes. Just say it. Just
say the thing.
Just say the thing. I was I was flustered though. I didn't think there was gonna be that many personal jabs. But who doesn't do personal jabs is Caden. Caden for a year made himself likable. For a year was interacting with everyone.
Because he's not very likable, but he made himself likable, which I think is a good skill.
and like you felt like you were watching Loogie like be built up from the ground up when you were with Caden.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got it right here in my.
Nice. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I have it somewhere.
So yeah, like
I actually read it and gave him feedback.
Were you a dick about it?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. I want him to fear me and respect me.
Yeah.
The only way I can do that is by.
You gotta kick him out. You gotta kick him out. You gotta kick him out of this fandom.
Crushing his hopes and dreams.
You're not taking this seriously enough.
You're a tourist kid.
It's getting off vindictive tourist. Yeah. It's a comics, man. I mean, comics will break your heart. It's a dog eat dog world out there. We've been going for almost an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh dang, I keep hitting the wrong fucking stuff. I've been on StreamYard in forever. What do you got going after Holiday Spirits? Because like you said, you're doing so many books.
We are finishing Voodoo Nations next.
Okay.
So we just got the last page of art, so we're finishing Voodoo Nations. We're hoping to do Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. It depends on China getting the books to us. There have been some problems getting them to us. And tariffs, it keeps going up on a regular basis, so that's tough. So if we get those books that I can fulfill that, I will launch the next Cthulhu, because the next one's done. It's already drawn.
Oh shit! So you're just like waiting now.
I'm literally just waiting. Yeah. And then if that doesn't happen, I have a book called Bubblegum Razor, which is a book about a podcaster who investigates a series of murders.
Oh, I saw this cover on Instagram. I'm a day one backer on that bitch.
Yeah.
I like. Oh, that was such a good. I didn't know you had made it. I was just scrolling and I went, oh shit, this looks sick. Whose profile is this? Oh shit, it's Travis.
Yeah.
That one I'm very.
It's gonna be a great book. The end twist is very, very good. Like I'm not trying. Like it comes out of a genuine hurt of something I was going through. I can't tell you what I was going through because it will ruin the plot, but it's very the plot was given to me from a great stage of grief, and I think those are some of the best writing is when you can come from a deep state of grief. So that's the next thing.
Is this just a one shot?
No, it's a series. So it's a done series. It's a finite series. It's not
how many issues.
We're going for 4.
Okay, nice. And Roland's doing all the art.
Roland's gonna do all the art. Yeah.
I love it. This is I normally don't ask for these things, but if you ever need a variant cover,
ask him. Ask Rollins. He gets. I let him make the decisions on because it's his book. So
this is his. Wait, what?
Well, he came up with the character concepts. It says, "I want to do a book about these murderers."
Fair, okay.
But I go, yeah, I need more than that. He's like, well, you're the writer. Oh, that's why you're presenting this.
Oh, okay. Well,
and
hey,
then
that's
I came
sick.
Up with,
that's cool.
And then I came up with the whole plot and blah blah blah. But he came up with like 4 characters, and he's like, I want them to be murderers. And I was like, what does Bubblegum Razor mean? I don't know. I just think it's a cool name. Okay.
That's hilarious.
And then I came with a plot that really means something. Like it really means something, and really something that I want.
What a great collaboration. I think like I've had a lot of those where like I come up with a name, I go, that's a cool name. All right, now I come up with the characters, and then I go, this is cool. I have no way how to fucking make this a thing, and I just scrap it. So maybe next time I have one of those, I go, actually, you know what? You probably would have been a good writer for it because it was called Our Music Kills Kaiju, and it was about these 2 kids. All I had was these 2 characters, a boy and a girl. They make music, and it turns out that their music is the only thing that can kill kaiju in their city invading. But I couldn't figure out I couldn't figure out what was the emotional part of the story. Like, what are the characters going through? I was trying to be like, is the kaiju like the girl's mom? And I couldn't figure it out. And then I couldn't figure it out. And the goal was to I was gonna record I was gonna make 3 songs. All
right, you're gonna go the whole thing.
I was gonna do a whole thing, and then I was like, I can't freaking tackle this story. So then that's why we actually came out with Blackjack. Because that was the artist I was supposed to work with. So
kaiju. So there was a book called Kaiju Heist, which was really, really good. And now it's become a Godzilla trope. So they're doing a Godzilla heist, heist movies with Godzilla with stuff like that. Chef's kiss. I love it.
Jose Garcia, it seems like the writer community has way less drama than the artist community.
That is not true.
I actually think it's worse, Jose, because there is drama in artists, but writers have, I think, more free time.
And we can't automatically prove the other person wrong. Who's a better artist. You may not admit it, but who's a better artist and whose side you're on.
Well, if someone was just whose art's better, you could just go, right. Come on. Yeah. Dude, someone was like, Tyler, so-and-so's a better artist. I'm like, than you? And I was like, duh. Was that supposed to hurt my feelings?
Right.
Duh. I remember someone, it was on one stream, I think it was a year ago. They go, Tyler is nowhere near as good as Sean Gordon Murphy. And I went, duh. Was that supposed to hurt my feelings in the slightest? I know. Writers have bigger egos. Oops Horror says, one last point, man, they love this email list thing. If email lists were all that great, Tenaple wouldn't have needed to join Comicsgate. He has 1 million people's emails, but CG is who funded Bigfoot Bill, and it's only made $150K. Dude, well, I don't want to talk about CG, but
But where did he get those emails? He didn't have the emails. He needed to do a book to get the emails. You don't get an email from selling a video game. You don't collect emails when you sell a video game.
That's true. one of the biggest things I hate that CG has done is they make it sound like making 150K on a book is bad.
Right.
Like, oh, they only made 150. Oh, they only made 60, 70,000. It's like, guys, like I think Kickstarters, and you'll know them better. Like 40% of people, like I think you have a 40% chance on Kickstarter to not fund in the comic section. So you have a 60% chance of funding on Kickstarter. From those 60% of people, like 80% of people will hit 0 to 9,000. 80% of people. If you hit 10,000 to 20,000, 10,000 to 19,000, that's like another 10% of people. I'm now, and then like the next 5% are 20 to 50, and then it's like 100,000 plus is like 1%, and then like everything else is 0.1%. So like if you are breaking 10K, you are in like the top 10% of Kickstarters, comic Kickstarters. Hey, what?
I'm sharing it because you stress me out.
Oh, the actual. See, I wasn't pulling this stuff out of my ass.
He actually studies this stuff, guys.
I'm a tourist, dude. I just make this shit up. My screen's so tiny.
All right, so yeah, it's hard to see. Is it better now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right, so comics. Here, so can't. Yeah,
there you go. So like 1,000. Okay, is this year or just all time?
This is right. No, this is right now.
Okay, so right now.
Hold on. Let me check. This is all time.
All right, all time. All right, so out of all time, there have been 21,000 successful funded projects. 2,000 of those made less than $1,000. 13,000 of them, which is the majority, made 1,000 to 9,000. Then only 2,680 made 10,000 to 19,000. And then another 2,400 made 20,000 to 999, which is a huge like margin. And then after that, it's only 373 campaigns have done 100K or more, and then only 7 have done $1 million. So like,
and this is crazy because this number wasn't that high.
Oh, it's growing.
Yeah, because that number was I think under 1,000.
Pat, Shan, and Kat are just like they're upping the numbers because they're running
because remember when I did Cthulhu, like it was a big deal. Like I was like one of like 500.
Yeah.
Like I remember that specifically.
You're not special anymore because
I am not. Well, it's not just them. It's IDW and all these other like publishers are coming in. They're not quite making over 100K, but they're.
Gotcha. That's true. That. Like that Rick and Morty book and whatnot is I think at like 70 or something. So yeah. But like the reality is most indie creators are gonna be in that $1,000 to $10,000 range. That's just the reality. And my project, no. This is the reality. So to say like, they only made 150K, just looking at Kickstarter numbers alone, you are in the 1%.
But you made 20 once, right? Didn't you?
I broke 20.
So this is your level.
I've done it twice. That's all I can say. I know I've only done it twice.
No, I know, but this is the other guy's level.
No, let's give him props. He's in the 10,000 to 15,000 range. 17,000.
Right, but not the 20.
Not yet. Not yet. But and so like that's one thing that I hate about the narratives of online, like they only made 100,000. It's like that's really good. And then the reason why to me it's not good, they might think it's not good, is they're holding on to that comic for 3 years. You're right. That comic, like holding on to that comic for 3 years or 100,000 is bad. If you make 2 or 3 more that year doing 100,000,
right,
you're golden. You're golden. Just keep doing that. And so saying like, they only made 150,000. That's really good. I don't think.
Well, and that's not their business too. The people who make 150,000. And I'm not saying this to slam those people. They're spending a lot of time on social media. They're making shows.
shows
entertainment.
and making money from backers that way. You know, they have other ways of making money that, yeah, it's slower, but it translates to about the same.
For sure. I heard it best from this. This guy was saying, like, this guy, he sells t-shirts and whatnot, and he says, I'm selling, but like he's like, we focus most of our time not on the clothes. The clothes are still good and the designs are cool. He says he spends most of his time vlogging and throwing these parties because, and he says, my business is selling a lifestyle and entertainment, and the ticket to get into that is buying the shirt. So it's the same thing. You're buying the entertainment and the lifestyle and the, you know, being a part of the club, and the ticket is you buy the comic.
Yeah, it's the whole Roosevelt model, like the Roosevelt shirts. That's their whole model.
It's those MAGA hats, man. You gotta get them. You gotta get that merch, bro.
You gotta get merch.
You gotta get that merch. But and like there's not. And here's the thing. I think another thing is like there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean that you hate comics more. You don't love comics. It's just to me, it's a different way of seeing, like, utilizing the medium. Now you can say one loves the medium more. That's valid.
But it depends on the quality. This is where, you know, the quality statement does matter. It's the quality of the book when you receive the book. Did they put love and care? Because you've seen books where they didn't care.
Like the Andrew Tate Top G book. That book is going to be trash, and it is trash.
He put it together, rushed it together. He didn't care what it was.
Yes.
It was a way to make money. And most wrestling comics, the people who make wrestling comics, same thing. They kind of like, it's an easy way to get something out because it's very, very cheap. A lot of movie studios will make comic books to have proof of concept, to prove that there's some sort of fan base. A lot of them are crap because they don't care about the medium. The people who care about the medium are gonna make better books 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, these aren't like it can be a cash grab if you do it really poorly.
Sure.
If you do it very
I mean, there's a couple of people who I know literally make the not safe for work books, but literally put no effort in plot. They make covers. They basically cover farm all day. They throw together as basic a plot as they can so they can make a next book, and that's all they do. Rinse and repeat. Get as many of those out a month, so you're making $10K a month.
Yeah. If you go in and it's just like, here's this variant with 10 versions of it, this right. 10, and it's like, well, one, I don't know. Like I can barely keep up with like 6 variants. I don't know how they do these 50 variant.
It's mostly dinosaurs. A lot of men want to fuck dinosaurs, from what I can understand.
But yeah, and here's the thing, like, is that right or wrong? There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
it's
just me to fuck out, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with
it. It's how you utilize the medium. At the end of the day, it's still comics. But you're right, there's gonna be quality comics, good comics, bad comics. What do you want your comics at the end, right? Where do you want the real answer? To get back to the beginning of this whole thing, for me, the real answer, if you're a tourist in your book, the result is the end goal of the book. If your book was there to sell covers to make bank, you are a tourist, in my opinion. Okay.
That doesn't make it a fact. That's my opinion. If your goal is this book has to have a place after it's done, and I know you and I've talked about it. I want to get these on Amazon. I want it to be a
trade paperback and
trade paper, do the whole thing. You're not viewing it from a tourist perspective. A writer like myself, even a Larry Higgins, who I don't get along with at all, his goal is to get to that next trade. Everything is leading to that next trade to collect it for a reader. If your goal is to bind this together to make it, those creators who are not interested in binding things together because they want to make as much money they can on the resell of a floppy, they're tourists. They're here for the money. Their stuff isn't going to last. It's not even going to be found in dollar bins at some point.
Because it's like, all right, that covers it.
Right. Nobody wants it. You're not even going to bring it in dollar bins because nobody's going to buy it from the dollar bin. It saves, it's waste time with the X-Men that's in there.
That's a good definition. Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, like, I always think we should be weary of the term tourist, how you use it.
Sure.
Like, I agree. If there's someone who's like, who's like, I'll say it. I think someone like Everett Hartso, that guy's just doing AI books up the wazoo,
Yeah.
and like to his credit, I think they do like 30 or 40,000 on Kickstarter each one.
I mean,
If I was him, I'd be like, yeah, why would I stop? I'm making this much money. Why would I stop? And then, but then you have like, you know, you and I who are like, all right, like, how do we like, how am I like, what's the next artist for this book? What's the right variant? How can I get the right artist for this? How I'm thinking about what's the next series? How can I use this series to help bring up this next series or sell this next book? Or how can I work with these people in the community to uplift them, to bring them? And if that's what makes people tourists, with my clout wall.
right.
And my spinner rack. How many tourists have a spinner rack?
Anyone who really wants to pretend they're not a tourist, that's the first thing is you buy a spinner rack.
You buy a $200 spinner rack.
Especially for you, my friend. You aren't even at the age where spinner racks were a thing.
You see, my mom was like,
Yeah.
Tyler, do you want a spinner rack? And I went, yeah. So these fuckers don't call me a tourist, and it's gonna be calling me.
Right.
Now I got people like
Which,
Tony
of
James
course,
to call me a
made you
tourist. Yeah, and it's just filled with indie books.
And again, going back to those people, even though I don't particularly like them, there's nothing wrong with that. They're still creating content that maybe someone really enjoys. I've gone into like weird people's houses where they have all those crazy covers on their wall. They have a room,
And you're like,
and I'm like, cool, lots of boobies, thank you.
and but
Well,
they're enjoying like they're enjoying the medium, and if anything, like their readers are enjoying the medium. Their backers are enjoying some part of the medium.
right, there's something about what they're doing as they like.
Yeah, like they are feeding an aspect of the community, and so maybe that makes them not a tourist. They're just feeding a subset that needs to be fed.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who wants to make 10K on Kickstarter, I can tell you, I can give you a list of 3 artists. You pay one of them, they're going to be between 500 to 1200, and you will get 10K. If that's what you want, if that's your goal. But if you want to build a backer base and you don't want 10K with 120 backers, let's have a real conversation.
I don't even know how they make that much money with all those 50 covers, because it's like they got to do print runs. Like we got Bancroft in the chat. How you doing? Yeah, I'm always like, well, a Lotus Petal, you're enjoying the medium in a way that is inferior to how I enjoy it.
You enjoy the meeting. Correct. That is my statement.
Oh man, I think at some point, everyone at some point will go, man, I think that person has some touristy vibes. But ultimately, if you're an adult, you go, you know what? I like comics. They like comics. They might like a different part of comics than I do, but they like comics. Thoughts on that?
I think that person knew that would upset you because it's an insecurity of yours, and he decided to prey on that and fluster you for the rest of a chat.
Well, fuck you, Tony James, you cum guzzling cunt. That I'm telling you, I clipped that because I was so hurt by it. Clout wall.
Yeah. There's no way, again, bringing a stack, and this is not all your books, it's just what I have.
Correct.
Because I don't buy, you're not stuff. And I actually have more than that, but that's what I have out.
You're not my target audience.
Right. Super sexy witch academia is not.
I'm not your target audience. If anything, you probably bought some of those books because we're just friends.
Correct.
And that's
not buy girl books.
And that's okay though. Like that's okay. I have like a whole shelf of like your books right here, and I've got like a stack. Like I'll be honest, like I'm not the biggest fan of Grant State Punk.
Okay.
But I do love the covers. I always pick the cover that I want though. I always grab the cover that I want. But I always buy it and I read it and I go, I like this. I like it enough to keep backing it, but I back it more so because
I think a lot of people back that book, not even if they don't like it, they see a lot of me in it because there's a lot of me in it.
It's very personal to you because you love punk rock.
So if you like me, it's really hard not to back that book because you're like, it's it's way too much of him.
Yeah, well, it's almost like me saying, "Hey, I don't really like our friendship, and I'm going to showcase it by not backing the most personal book
Right.
that you've made." I didn't back Hospice, and that wasn't that I didn't think it looked good. I was just like, this isn't like the one.
That's not that demons aren't your thing.
Yeah, or Voodoo Nations, but yeah, like Granite State Punk.
But offline, I can tell you something about Hospice that will make you super proud of me.
All right, I can't wait to hear.
Actually,
that.
I'll share the details offline, but I'll share the one. It is now a franchise. I've sold it as a franchise.
Shut the fuck. Okay, I've always like in my back of my mind, like ever since Pat Shand was like, "Hey, I'll give you $10,000 for the My Sexy Witch Academia IP," I've always thought like, if I ever want to get out of this, could I just sell my IP?
All right, I think I should share it now. I was gonna share it offline, but I don't want someone to like
take it out of context.
Right. So what I've done is I hired people for season 2 of Hospice. They bought the franchise rights to me to be able to make Hospice books. So they will be making individual issues, and then Orange Cone will take them as a trade later on. As part of the deal, they will be able to get access to the trade, and they own their books and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a franchise now. It's a franchise that other people are going to be able to use. And a lot of these creators some of them are actually well-known creators. A lot of them.
So like, could I do it? Could I just be like, "Hey, I want to get I want to franchise this," or does that have to be
we only allow so many? We only allow so many people a season. But yeah. So this is season 2.
Okay, gotcha. That's cool.
So this is season 2 of it, but there was a financial. I'm not going to share how much, but there was a financial.
I was about to.
And it was the hardest thing in the world, man. Is writing an email going, "I want some money for this because I think it's worth money. I think by having this name on your comic, you will be able to sell more comics because we made it. Because myself, Frank, Russell, David Byrne, Jamie Premack.
So did the initial season 1 people get money?
Correct. They all get a split of that money.
Okay, so you guys all kind of got to be part of that, and now you guys will hopefully.
And then it's a level. It's not a pyramid. It goes in more of a.
It's a pyramid. It's a pyramid.
It's not. It's
hey, you know what? I'm okay. Like everyone's like, what's wrong with? Everyone's like, pyramid schemes are bad. I'm like, actually, a lot of things are pyramid schemes, and
for the guys on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, for the bottom, it's a pyramid scheme. Everyone else is fine with it. We have VNet Fad. Do you think most indie comic creators are as adverse to manga as your guest?
Probably not.
He's a purist. I think it just depends. I mean, there are a lot of people who are super adverse to manga, and there's some people who are totally cool with it. I think it just depends.
Yeah, no, if you go in my Discord, like, they love manga. They talk about it all the time. I don't, and I keep it about comics specifically because I don't believe the comic. I think
Travis is like, yo, settle down, everyone.
Anyone who says comics and manga are the same thing are not. The way they approach them, the way they do things, they're very different. In the basic format, they're the same, right? Like a Lamborghini and a Kia are the same thing.
It's a car.
They're not. They're not the same thing, right?
Well, I'm glad you say that because a lot of people are like, no, like manga is just like Japanese comics. I'm like, no, you're not getting it. Everything about it is different from how they story tell. Like every aspect of it is different. Even how they publish it is different. There's a whole mentality that's different, and if you ignore those things, it's not manga. It's not manga at all. So you have if you're gonna you have to have those elements.
Yeah, my daughter went to Japan. She did an internship in Japan. She was there for a summer, and she says, "Dad, you would lose your mind. I'm on the subway with these people, and they're throwing them away after they read them. Like they're just throwing the books in the trash. It's not a big thing. They don't care." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Because to them that manga book is like, all right. It's like watching that. It's right back when there was like TV shows on TV, and you'd be like, all right, on Monday night at 9:00, I'm watching this show, and then you're like, all right, that was cool, done. You wait till the next. So with you read the chapter, you go, done, throw it away.
And their collection of it is the anime that comes out later.
Yes,
I mean there's obviously people who collect manga
or the collected manga, but only if the one that you actually like. Because you can, in those books, you'll read 20 and go, all right, I only like one of these, throw it away.
But so there is, I think the majority of comic creators actually really respect manga. I'm not that guy. I've given it a try a whole bunch of times. Death Note is a great Wikipedia. I don't recommend the book, but the Wikipedia about everything that happens is mwah. It's just good.
Travis is reading the Wikipedia. Go, God damn, this is good.
It is good. It is good. That Wikipedia was solid. I was like, oh shit, they took this thing seriously. Like, it's not just writing things down on a piece of paper and getting revenge on your girlfriend. Look at that.
Oh
People
my
are
God.
ripping off a piece of paper, putting them in the like very deep stuff. Don't recommend the live action, even though I haven't read the manga. I don't recommend it.
Are indie manga and indie comics similar? No, they're not. I think one thing I wish manga would do, but once again, it wouldn't make it a manga. Is I wish that like they would condense the story sometimes. But they have to tell these long ones where it's like, that's why I was saying at the beginning, I'll look at a manga because I read more comics than I do manga, and they're like, you got to read this one. It's 20 volumes. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of dedication. I'm just going to go get House of M. I know it's a 6-issue miniseries, and granted, yeah, I had to know some backstory, but I don't need to know that much to enjoy it.
Well, and that's what I told you. Remember when I read one of your books, I was like, hey, why don't you put 2 monster fights in here? Well, you're like a typical manga, they fight one thing per book. And I was like, but you're not selling to the core audience. You're selling to American audience. I bet you put 2 monsters in, you'll have a better experience for the American.
If I had multiple monsters in?
You're right.
Multiple baddies?
Yeah, per thing, because it's 1 baddie per thing, which I get. It's typical. But again, you're going to an American manga audience, not a traditional manga audience.
That's fair. I'm like looking at I've got like 10 manga right there and 10 manga there, and then I got comics.
Yeah.
Tourist shit.
A great guy to listen to, because I listen to the podcast even though I don't read any of the books, is Chip Zdarsky. He felt like me, and he does a whole podcast about people trying to teach him manga. So he has someone teaching him what's good and what's not.
With the girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think because I follow Debbie Aoki. I think.
Yeah, you would love that podcast. It's really good. And Chip Zdarsky is one of the best writers in comics. Period.
He is good. You do.
What don't you like about it? I feel there's something you don't like.
No, I was just gonna say like, because
I got you on as Batman, and you liked Failsafe, but then it went downhill, right?
It did go downhill.
Okay.
But like, I think if I were to buy the trade, and then read it like as a whole. Yeah. I think I was just like every month I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to like
No, it was really good, but you can tell like it was him for a year, and then editorial was like, why don't it be less you?
Yeah, okay, like, yes. Because that Failsafe, I was like I knew it was Chip Zdarsky when the guy went like, oh my God, and Batman goes, I'm not God. And then he pops out of the darkness to fight the bad guy. I went, that's Chip Zdarsky. And then it started getting really lame. And I was like, who's talking in his ear to like, hey, you need to do this. I think Matt Fraction would do a good Batman.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
I think he could do a good Batman. Jose Garcia says, I usually read 9 to 10 volumes of manga to get an idea, but hesitate to read a 120-page American trade. Dang.
Just don't. See, that stresses me the fuck out. Like if I read one volume of something, like it drives me crazy when I've been like, I read it, I tried your thing, and they're like, oh yeah, you got to read the next 4 volumes. No, I'm not gonna pay.
Well, that's why I'll do that. Well, that's why I give away volume 1 for free digitally on Growth of Megafist. I don't want someone to be like, I'm like, hey, you got on volume 6, like you got to buy all of them. I want to be like, listen, here's volume 1 for free. If you don't like it, I promise you. Like, don't waste your time on 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not.
But people do it. Holiday Spirits, they're anthologies. You don't need any of them for this stuff.
Which is nice.
But there's people who will buy all 4 because they feel they need it, even though it doesn't. I sell it live at conventions, being like, hey, they're the same price. 3 is this big, 1 is this big, like showing the gap. There's a huge gap. They're like, gotta get volume 1 first. I don't understand.
It's the same.
In the better talent I have on 3 versus 1,
Like, no,
that's some people you can back that too, I guess.
Is it on late? I was gonna say like I'm excited for this one because I remember I was in an airport and I sketched a thing for this? Do you remember?
Yeah. And you didn't get back to me fast enough, so I made it with somebody else.
Is that what fucking happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's fair. I mean, I definitely didn't get back to you because I probably would. If you were relying on me to make this book, it probably wouldn't have happened. So that's just the dead truth. But you know what? I loved looking at it and going like at the concept and going, oh, this person nailed down that concept better than what I was trying to do. Like you were texting me the stuff like, oh, I want to have this, and I remember just trying to draw, and I was like, I think, and I sent it to you, and when I saw these images on it, I was like, nah, this person was able to
This is Brian Wolf. He's really good, very affordable. If you ever want to hire him for anything, this book literally is coming to my house tomorrow. So if you back it, I will literally send it to you next week.
Let me just put it in the chat. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. My first superhero book, and this guy's really fast. We're gonna do it quarterly. So this book is gonna be coming out quarterly. So I'm gonna be having 4 issues a year, which is awesome. Most books are once a year. And you're going to love it. Every issue has a new crazy thing. And even though I don't like manga, this is very manga inspired. So one of her powers is when you see her through a screen or something, if someone video records her, she appears as like a chibi, a manga chibi. Like
so that's your manga trope. You're like, no, it's manga because she turns into a chibi.
Well, I think I try to think of what a girl would do, like to protect their identity, and how do we modernly protect our identity, and that's how she does it. She makes it a chibi, and it smells. So it's a filter. She put a filter on
that. Okay. See that sounds cool. See, okay, now that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a filter that shows up manga chibi of her.
No, I think this is cool. I did back it, right? I'll be so mad.
I don't know. It says back this project, so I'm gonna guess not. Oh, unless you're not logged in. Are you not logged in?
No, but I could have done it on like one of my 5 other accounts.
No,
so
yeah,
let me go check. I'll have to check my other accounts, and if not, then I'll
but yeah, I'm literally getting it tomorrow. I am going to New Hampshire for a con, so I will.
Oh, so nice. You'll have it available.
But I will have it available at the con in New Hampshire. But I will also be shipping it pretty soon after that.
All right. Well, hey, before we end the stream, let's talk about holiday spirits one more time, guys. By the way, look at Travis.
Well, can we talk about your blackjack? We're gonna bring that up. We still got that too, right?
I mean, it's funded. It's done its thing. I'm happy with it.
I actually am shocked that it didn't do better. I expected it to be easily in the 10K. Well, what do you think slowed it down from that? I
didn't do a lot of marketing personally.
Okay. So you think it's your marketing that's it?
I think I didn't do enough marketing personally. I kind of stealth launched this. Like everyone was kind of like, oh, like everyone knows, oh, he's gonna do another Super Plumber Sisters, another Sexy Witch, and then it was, oh, I have this. It's gonna launch in 2 weeks, and I don't think I prepped my audience for that. I only did. I didn't have all my books as add-ons. So I typically have all of them. I only had a select few.
What's your new? Did you have a good new backer on it though?
I had a lot of new backers, which was actually nice. So I actually gained more new backers than I do typically on.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Yeah, so that's good. It's also on my weakest of Kickstarter accounts.
Okay.
So this account gets my lowest of numbers, which I mean.
Are we gonna say a bull assassin versus blackjack chick?
No.
You need a versus book, man. You've got all these things that you've got to have them cross over. We need a crossover.
I've thought about that. I've thought about a way to do it.
Oh, is she one of those manga? Does she have no nose and then a long nose? There's no in between.
She has. Fuck you, dude. I've never noticed that. I've never noticed that with manga, with this.
Yeah, it's either no nose or
that's a typical manga trope though, where it's just a line.
Yeah.
Or it's or you get or if it's as you're going towards the side, it's
right.
Yeah, that's a typical. I didn't have as many covers on this one. Right. But I had a lot of people, which I'm glad for. They bought the physical of this, which was the deluxe pencil edition. So I sold typically 2 or 3 books per. So
it's just the pencils.
It's the sketches and then the pencils.
Because this is just a one shot, right?
Just a one shot. So yeah, I don't blame anyone but myself. I'm still very happy with the numbers. Like this is one of those books that I'll be able to sell forever in the add-ons. Like it'll hit 10K by like the end of the year, just in the add-on section.
Right, sure.
But yeah, I definitely could have marketed it a lot better.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. I mean, I took off. I also have another book as my add-on that I took off because I'm giving it to every. I put it up on my last campaign, and I had a lot of people put it as an add-on, and I'm like, oh crap, those copies were actually supposed to be given to people who back Volume 5 of the Growth of Megafist. So I'm not gonna do it anymore. It's another one shot that I made, but I haven't kickstarted. I've just been selling it in the add-ons, and it keeps getting bought.
Yeah, I do that too. Like that's another secret that I do. That I don't know if you came up with it or I came, but like I have books on my website that you don't get
kickstarted.
They never come to Kickstarter. They're just on the website.
Like I've officially sold 500 copies of this book. My Life as RPG. Great. It's never kickstarted at once, but it's in every add-on. It's an add-on every book in every campaign. Right. And like that's a book that like I made it 6 years ago, and it's now done like $5,000. No Kickstarter, and it just slowly just ramps up. This Demons, I just had to do another print run of like 400, and like the initial Kickstarter only sold like 40, but I ordered 300, and that was sold out. So a lot of people, they just look at these initial numbers and go, oh, that campaign failed. And if you're looking at it in the long game, like tourists, like you and I, we just go, no, this book's gonna last 10, 15 years.
Right.
Like I'm just using this to launch it.
Yeah, I don't worry about my numbers. If you notice, I don't hire like that crazy expensive cover. I want to be known for my writing. I don't want to be known that I can buy a cover. I occasionally will buy, and I think I get good covers, but I'm not going to buy like an Evan Tao or one of these guys to do a cover for me.
Well, because the covers you want to like, I do the same. Like when people are like, Tyler, where'd you get this art? This must have been really expensive. I was like, I've worked with this guy for several years. He's on Fiverr. And they go, why do you use that? And they're like, that's bad. I go, it serves the story. It's the cover that I want for the story. I think one of your favorite covers that you have. Shut the fuck up if I don't have it. Oh, this one. Easily my favorite. StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, the Angela Otley. Yeah.
So good.
My wife wanted that cover a lot.
So good. Like, I agree with you. Like, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I paid $4,000 or $5,000 for the cover.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll pay a dime. Like this. Look at this Fairy Tales one. I mean, this is a really cool cover.
That's a great one.
This is a great cover. But but this guy isn't like super well known, but he did a great cover.
It serves the story. Yeah. Like it looks good. It serves the story, and that's ultimately like what you want.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah, you could be in the cover game, or you could, yeah.
Her VTube skin toggles on her okay.
Dad, you have so many books, dude. Just so many campaigns. Holy shit. First one's in.
Yeah, I want to do 12 this year. I think I'll end up probably doing 11, but I want to do 12.
Damn. That's a lot.
I literally have. I'm looking at a chalkboard right here to the left of me. I don't know. I don't think you can see it. You can see it, but you can't see anything on it. But literally, that's my whole plan for the year and scripts and all that stuff. Yeah.
Tourist.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Travis.
Hi, Lotus.
See you, Lotus. Travis, what can you leave people off with? Let me pull up hospice one more time. What do you want to say to
hospice,
people?
Holiday spirits.
Holiday spirits.
Our people. Holiday spirits. Back it. We've talked to you for a long time. We've amused you. You can give me $1 for amusing you. Try it out. It's very, very good. It's horror stories in the holiday. I know you're like, why is it coming out in April? I get that question. I understand. Our goal is to get it to you by July. Christmas in July. We're hoping to get you the book in July. See, that's why it's here. It has 3 volumes before it. It has some really great writers. It has Fish Lee in it. It has Jonathan Hendrick. It has Philip Broodhorn. It has Kurt Belcher. So a lot of people who've done a lot of books in the indie scene. So it'll be a good 120 page book that I think you'll really enjoy. So check it out.
Also, I like that like you're gonna get the book before Christmas because there's some creators who will do Christmas books, and they launch them in December, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna I want to read this in December. Instead, I'm gonna get
right,
it.
and that's the problem though is you'll get more backers if you launch it.
Yeah, so not only have you chosen like the worst month to like kickstart, but
Right.
I'm not even gonna get your Christmas book for Christmas.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
This is really good art.
And that's if anybody read the Recount back in the day, that's the Recount team putting that together.
Oh, that Scout comic book.
Yep. Yeah. That's the team that put that together, put this together.
That was a really good series.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. In such good timing, right? That's where comics are all timing. Is all timing. He did it right at the election.
Yeah, I remember reading that and being like, I might not agree with the political stuff, but this is a good comic. Like, it's a thinker.
Right. I mean, Recount had no political. He didn't say which party they were.
100. No, that's what I'm saying. That's like, if you can read it both, you can read it both ways.
Right.
It was good.
Well, that's what I hated about House of Cards. I was like, look at these dirty Republicans doing all this dirty stuff. Kevin Spacey being a dirty Republican, and then the end of the first episode. So, Democrat National Party tomorrow. It's like, motherfucker.
You're like, dang it, that was us. That's me.
Fuck. We're the bad guys.
That's so funny.
He was right the whole time. I should have listened to Dick Cheney.
Oh my stars. Guys, go check out Travis.
But yes, back it.
Guys, go check out Holiday Spirits, Christmas in July, a graphic novel, very affordable. $10 for the digital reward, $15 for the deluxe. Let's be real, guys. You want to get that volume A, that cover A, but you just want to get all the volumes. $40 gets you over 700 pages of content if you want the digitals.
Yep.
What's great about that is Travis probably makes more money on this tier than most on the digital.
That's true.
So go check that one. Go check that one out. Yeah, guys, Travis is one of my oldest friends in comics. We've been around for too long.
We even have a hardcover on here, which we don't normally do.
We have a what?
I have a hardcover on here, which I normally don't do hardcovers for the Holiday Spirits, but we're doing it for this one.
Oh, look at that. There we go.
Yep.
Has anyone back one person's? How many are you going to print?
I'm going to print, I have to print at least 25. So, but that's it. I'm not going to print anymore.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh no, you've got none. No, you got 8.
This guy doesn't pay artists. Well, it's a little more complicated than that, but yes. But I can't tell you more than that because I am on a contract. What would that be called? A contract?
NDA.
NDA. Do not disparage. What is that called? Yeah. Yeah, I can't talk about Scout legally.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I think it's a do not disparage or something like that.
Yeah, because of Granite State Punk, I cannot talk about it.
Oh, damn it. That sucks, dude. If you hadn't gotten that, you could have spilt everything.
Right, I could have. And would have.
And the clout you could have gotten. All right.
I appreciate you guys looking at it either way. And I liked hanging out with you guys.
I'm juggling StreamYard, OBS. I'm struggling. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We got Crave Welshman. I just woke up. What did I miss? Everything. You woke up and missed everything. So definitely rewatch this stream. Guys, keep making comics, keep reading comics, have a silly goose time. Don't let anyone disparage you or say they're just not like one of us. There's no one of us. Just enjoy comics. And always just try to get better.
Yeah, and if you're questioning whether or not you're a tourist, just ask me and I'll tell you one way or the other.
Yeah, Travis
Let me-
will let you know.
I'll let you know one way or the other.
Travis will be like, yeah.
Uh,
What, so when did Spider-Man show up in comics? And then
The other guy will tell you you're a tourist, so you already know your answer if you go to him. You have a shot with me.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night. Peace out.
Good night, guys.